In the first 5 months of this year, exports to the U.S. surpassed those to China. Now, if that trend continues, annual exports to the U.S. could exceed those to China for the first time in 22 years. Our Choi Soo-hyung reports.
From January to May this year, South Korea's total exports to the United States exceeded its exports to China. According to the Trade Ministry on Monday, if this trend continues in the second half of the year, annual shipments to the States could surpass those to China for the first time since 2002. Between January and May, South Korea's exports to the U.S. totaled $53.3 billion, which is $610 million more than the $52.7 billion of exports to China. Across the whole of last year, exports to the U.S. were $115.7 billion, which was $9.1 billion less than exports to China. However, since 2016, exports to the U.S. have been steadily increasing, driven by sales of cars and batteries. They surpassed $100 billion for the first time in 2022 and reached a record high last year. For large companies, exports to the U.S. last year reached $79.5 billion, surpassing their exports to China for the first time in 20 years thanks to increased sales of eco-friendly cars, SUVs and machineries. Small and medium-sized companies are also likely to export more to the U.S. than to China this year, driven by a surge in cosmetics and machinery exports. In contrast, exports to China have been falling since 2021. They hit a record high of $162.9 billion in 2021, but due to the slowdown in Chinese manufacturing, they fell to $124.8 billion last year. However, the situation could change as the Chinese economy is slowly starting to recover. Recently, the international credit rating agency Moody's raised its forecast for China's economic growth rate this year from 4% to 4.5%. In April, the Bank of Korea predicted that exports to the U.S. would continue to boost the Korean economy, supported by increased investment by Korean companies in the U.S. and sustained U.S. consumer demand. Choi Soo-hyung, Arirang News.